can't stop, won't stop, gonna keep collecting books. Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and as always guys, I'm Andrew. Today I got an extra video for you, but before we get into that extra video, make sure you are liking and subscribing, and hitting that bell notification so you can get regular updates for when I put out new content. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and occasionally, just like this, you get a little bit extra because I have no self-control. And if you're hearing me say the words, I have no self-control, you can probably guess that that's right guys, it's another book haul. I've received a lot of gifts, and I collected some very nice additions, and I had some late arrivals from last month's book haul that showed up this month, and so I've just got more books. Yay! I'm sure you're as excited as I am. It's a fair amount of books, but yeah, we're gonna get through this together. So, that said, guys, let's just jump right on into it. So, I had been seeing this around because of SFPBO, and I wanted to get it, but I was on a book buying ban. Because, you know, I was bitten by a radioactive book collector, and so I have this chronic habit of I just keep collecting books. And unfortunately, I was really wanting this, and so I tweeted out on Twitter, you know, how much I was starting to want this book. And, like, the cover just keeps growing and growing on me. That's going to be Daniel T. Jackson's Illborn. Look how big this thing is. Anyway, my BookTube big sister, Leslie the Nerdy Narrative, very kindly picked this up for me. And we are going to be buddy reading this in March because we both have our birthdays in March. And I am just so excited. That's the earliest she could fit it in. It just happens to work out that we're going to have a birthday buddy read, and I'm super excited to get into this. At first I thought the sword looked a lot like Narsil, you know, the Flame of the West, or Andoril, from the Lord of the Rings, but the more I look at it, like, it's got these notches here, and then, like, it's got, like, cracks, and I kind of like this whole swirl around it. The more I look at this cover, the more it pulls me in, and I have very, very little idea of what this is about. But I still wanted it. Like, it's just self-pub goodness. And who doesn't want a little bit of self-pub goodness in their life? Alright, so that was a gift. And then, so let's move on to some other gifts. Real quick. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, so I don't think I have these in the right order. But my good friend and patron, Josephina from Fina Reads, loves this series. She's been talking to me for a couple months about how good Christian Britton's Green Rider saga is, and so she had 4 mass market paperbacks that she doesn't read mass market paperbacks, and she was like, hey, we're going to be doing a read of this in January, and I would love for you to join me. And I was like, well, I don't have them, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to purchase them. She's like, don't worry, I got it. And she very kindly sent me the first 4. Now, I don't know the correct order here, but of course I just showed you Green Rider. Very, very pretty. I love these covers. It's very classic fantasy, but at the same time, if you look, like, the horse is kind of, like, covered in blue. And so, like, and then, like, on the back, it's got this, like, mystical, shadowy figure with, like, the bow and arrow, and I just love it. Yeah, I love that. And then we've got Black Veil. And these are the first 4. The High King's Tomb, which is this big old horse. Look at that thing. And of course, you know, outlined in blue, but she's kind of see-through. And so, like, I'm just loving that kind of, like, classical magic. And then, of course, more see-through with the outline. I love these covers. I love this art style. Who's the, you know, now I gotta know who the artist is. Let's see. First printing. All characters, figures, scanning. It doesn't tell me. Why wouldn't you tell me? I want to know who did these covers. They're amazing. If you know who did these covers, let me know in the comments down below, because they are stunning. And usually, like, it'll tell you, but these don't. But look at that cover. It's so cool. Alright, so those 4 were also gifts. And then I colluded with my good friend Nico's wife to get him a very beautiful anniversary gift. And basically, he got the Grimoire press collection omnibus bind-up of the Red Queen's War trilogy, and so he didn't need his anymore. And so he sent me his. And so now I have Prince of Fools, The Wheel of Osheim, and The Liar's Key by Mark Lawrence. These will be... I've read 6 Mark Lawrence books since discovering BookTube. BookTube? Yes. Yes, I have read Book of the Ancestor, and I have read Broken Empire. So this will be 6, 7, 8, and 9, and I will have read quite a bit of Mark Lawrence. So I'm super excited for that. I have been meaning to get this book since I started the channel, and I keep telling Nico, I'm gonna buy it. And then somebody in the Discord, and I apologize, I am all over Discord all the time, and I kind of forgot who showed it to me. But they were like, hey, the UK version of this is gorgeous. And that's going to be Brandon Sanderson's Arcanum Unbounded. This is a bind-up of 9 of the novellas and short stories that he's done, including one of the manga ones that's in the Cosmere. I forget what that's called all of a sudden. Like, it flew straight out of my brain. But this does have Emperor's Soul in it, as well as Secret History, which is the main reason why I picked this up. Mainly because I want to read those before the next Mistborn book comes out next year. I think that's coming out in November. I don't know. But I really, really loved this. The only issue I have with it is it's a hardcover, but it doesn't have a slipcover, which is great. My only issue is... it's very oddly sized. How can I show you how oddly sized it is? So, here's Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne, which is just a standard trade paperback. And here is... they're both white. This was a terrible choice. But here is Arcanum Unbounded. It's a very, very small hardcover. I don't mind that, though, because it feels like it's meant to be read, and it's pretty... It opens fairly well. So, I'm okay with it. But, I mean, look at it. How could I not go with it? It's got that nice green, and it's beautiful. The spine looks great. I got this off a book depository, so it was not that hard to get. We're going to go ahead and put that right there. Please don't fall. All right, and then I had ordered this for a buddy read that I am doing with Baron from Your Brain on Books. You should totally check his channel out, by the way. He's relatively new, and he's absolutely fantastic. Great everything going on Your Brain on Books. And the version that I got was, I purchased it in very good condition, and it just showed up completely trashed. So I had to get another version. And so I've started Mylar wrapping a lot of my books. At least some of the books that I want to protect. And that's going to be Clive Barker's Imagica. Guys, this is the UK hardcover edition. And, like, the American's just, like, a flat white, which I don't really like that aesthetic in my books. But, I mean, this is a beefy book. We are reading this in November, which is why I'm showing you this. And I said I wasn't going to do a book haul in November. You're getting a library tour. Don't get greedy. You might get a book haul. Who knows? Who knows what happens at this point? Radioactive book collector. I was bitten. I've got a mark I can show you. Just not on camera. But guys, this is absolutely fantastic. I've heard a lot of good things about Imagica, and so I'm just really excited to get to it. I had a pre-order come in for, what's the name of this series? Burning Blade and Silver Eye by Django Wexler, which is Blood of the Chosen. This is book 2. I still haven't read book 1. I bought it forever ago, and so I still haven't even read any Django Wexler. But Alan seems to love Django Wexler. He had some thoughts on the first book. But, this is basically just purchased solely off of the recommendation of Alan. So I'm hoping to get to that sometime next year. And then I got another review copy from T. James Kelly for book 2 of The Dark Trials. And that's Dante's. And, I mean, look at this cover, guys. Like... if you like YA paranormal and thrillers, like, so good. I loved The Dark Trials. I did a dedicated review for it on the channel. You can totally check that out. I'll have it up in the cards. Fantastic. Fantastic book. I really, really appreciated it. This one was an unexpected gift. I got this from Stephanie, from Stephanie's Bookverse. This is Nolan, which is the first book of the Rise and Fall, which is kind of the series that bridges Legends of the First Empire and Rhaenyra Chronicles / Revelations. Chronicles leads into Revelations. There's a whole thing with Michael J. Sullivan. I have not started Legends of the First Empire yet, but I will be starting that next year. It is definitely one that I am wanting to prioritize. And so I cannot wait to... I'm super excited to have Nolan because, I mean, Nico read this and Nico liked it. So I'm super excited, and it looks like they've already done the cover art. If you look at the inside, it looks like the trilogy is already planned out. So I'm super excited for it, and I just don't know what to expect with this one. I'm going in pretty spoiler-free, mainly because, I mean, what can I say? Like, I don't want to spoil it because, you know, Michael J. Sullivan just writes really good books. And then I read Bloodsong last month, and I told y'all I was going to start collecting all the Anthony Ryan books that I could get my hands on. And for that reason, I put in... Apparently, it's not a... There isn't a hardcover in the U.S. I couldn't find one anyway. So this was another book depository order that I placed last month, and it just took forever to get here. And that's going to be The Pariah by Anthony Ryan. This is book 1 of a new series, The Covenant of Steel. I am planning to get to this next year. I loved Bloodsong so much. I'm reading Queen of Fire? It's Queen of Fire... Or, no, Tower Lord is book 2 of the Raven's Mark trilogy. And for that reason, like, as soon as I'm done with that, I'll either do the ones that I'm going to show up next or this one. Because I am wanting to read as much Anthony Ryan as I possibly can. And speaking of Anthony Ryan, I was a naughty boy. And I saw that these were sold out from this printer, this press. And I've always wanted something from this press, and I figured some novellas were a good way to start. It's a lot cheaper than their normal stuff. And so I decided to treat myself to some Subterranean Press, guys. And it's Anthony Ryan, and it's going to be his... what's the name of this series? I don't actually know the name of the series, but it's Pilgrimage of Swords. It's very, very short. These are signed and numbered. So each one is signed by Anthony Ryan and number 444. So we've got Pilgrimage of Swords, book 1. And they're all novella length. So, you know, they're all, you can see right there, Subterranean Press. We've got The Kraken's Tooth, also signed in number 444. And City of Songs, signed number 444. These are gorgeous. They're short. And I hope to bang these out next year. I'm super excited. I looked on Goodreads before I purchased them, and they had a pretty good rating, so I'm confident. And then Spooky Season reached up and grabbed me, and I have been wanting to do some more Stephen King. And so there's 2 Stephen King novels. These are both, frankly, they're Jake and Mike's fault, and I'll blame Mazza as well. I've got Needful Things by Stephen King, The Last Castle Rock Story. I don't know what that means. I know, but I just know that I loved the cover, and I also love the concept of it, of, like, you know, this guy who just shows up, opens a shop, and, you know, just greed consumes all, and it's supposedly got a really great small-town feel to it. I've been wanting to read this book for probably 20 years. I had a mass market paperback copy, but it was, like, massive, and it just intimidated me as a teenager, so I never read it. And then one I've been wanting to read since middle school. And this one is really hard to find an older copy in good shape. And I didn't want to spend $200 for one in decent shape. So I ended up going the UK route. And that's going to be Stephen King's It. This is the first edition UK by Hodder and Stoughton instead of Viking Press. It's still really gorgeous. I threw a Mylar wrapping on it. I got a pretty good deal on it. And overall, I'm super happy to have this in the collection. I've been wanting to read this since middle school. I'm 31, guys. I've been wanting to read this since 6th grade. So, it's about time that I got to it. Let's see. Is that all of my books? That is all of my books. So that is the end of this shameful haul. I have no self-control. A lot of it was gifts, but a lot of it just, I have no excuse. But guys, let me know in the comments down below what books you have acquired. Do you think I have a problem? Do you also indulge in a little retail therapy? Please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to talk to you. Or if you want to talk on a more regular basis, check the description down below for the link to the Wizzly Duo Discord. We would love to have you. Or if you would kindly like to support the channel, you can always click the link in the description for the Patreon and support the channel that way. It is not mandatory, but always appreciated. And that said, guys, that's all I got for you. So, till next time, peace out. Stay magical. Bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons.